Hello students, good evening and welcome to Gradeup Gate YouTube channel. Like it, subscribe the channel and share the link. Now, today we will discuss SR flip-flop. That is important for what? Gate 2022 Electronics and Electrical branch. जितनी जल्दी आपने प्रिपरेशन स्टार्ट की है और उतने ही अच्छे से इस टॉपिक्स में हमें कमांड करना है. तो फर्स्ट टॉपिक वाज ऑन व्हाट? लैच. Is it clear? What about the SR latch? By using NAND gate, by using NOR gate. What about the metastable state, invalid state, right? And that is what? In one case it is 1 1 and in one case it is what? 0 0. So agar मेरी sound quality, picture quality, everything is fine, then please give me the comments so that we will continue our session. Grade up सही prep है तो life set है. तो जल्दी से जल्दी हम अपनी प्रिपरेशन स्टार्ट कर देते हैं. इट इज़ अ लॉन्ग टर्म विजन, लॉन्ग टर्म गोल, दैट इज द गेट 2022. हम चाहते हैं कि इनर्शिया हटे और एक आप स्टार्ट आ जाए, एक फ्लो आ जाए. जितना जल्दी आप इसकी प्रिपरेशन स्टार्ट करेंगे उतना फास्ट आप फ्लो में आ जाएंगे. तो ये सेशन आप लोगों के लिए है जिनका लॉन्ग टर्म विजन है. नो डाउट दिस सेशन इज ऑल्सो इम्पॉर्टेंट फॉर कमिंग एग्जाम्स लाइक HAL, कमिंग एग्जाम्स फॉर इंजीनियरिंग सर्विसेज प्री एज वेल एज ISRO, BARC and what DRDO. It is also important for what? Interview session. Okay, they will ask question from this topic, digital electronics, one of the important topic. तो चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं बिना देर के हमारा सेशन. और आप लोगों के देख लें ज़रा, फटाफट इसे लाइक कर लीजिए, शेयर कर लीजिए अपने ग्रुप में ताकि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोग इसे ज्वाइन कर ले. अब कुछ क्वेश्चंस के बारे में डिस्कस करते हैं हम लोग. 1 मिनट. चलिए, ये हो गया आप लोगों के साथ में. शेयर. ओके देन. चलिए अब हम बात करेंगे. दिस इज अबाउट व्हाट? डिजिटल इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स, SR फ्लिप फ्लॉप, गेट 2022. दिस इज माय इंट्रोडक्शन. Myself Sanjay Rathi, ex-ES, and I am having 19 years of teaching experience and I have qualified ESE exam 3 times in electronics and telecommunication branch, right? And during this 19 years, I have mentored more than 1 lakh students for this particular exam. Now, in a previous class, already I have given you the idea about what? SR latch. Now, what is the difference between what? Latch and flip-flop? Simply tell me, what is the difference between the latch and what? Flip-flop, right? So, one of the point, one is what? Level triggered and other one is what? Edge triggered. Simply, one is what? Level triggered and one is what? Edge triggered. Now we are facing the problem of what? Rest around condition in case of latch, right? And that's why we want to design a edge trigger device, that is flip flop. Today we will discuss about what? SR flip flop, set reset flip flop. Okay, now what about the pin and what about the excitation table, what about the characteristics table, what about the characteristics equation, what about the state diagram and what are the uses of this SR flip flop. Okay then, तो चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं about SR flip flop. Simply, when we are talking about the SR latch and SR flip flop, already in a previous class I have given you the diagram. This was the diagram. This was the latch, right? This was the latch. This is the S, this is R bar. Now here we are using enable gate. Here we are using the enable gate. This is the enable gate. And here we are connecting R and this is what? S. This is Q and that is Q bar. Now, when we are connecting the clock, right? When we are connecting the clock and when it become what? Edge trigger device. So this is the symbol for edge trigger device. That is S, that is R, and this is a clock. Q and what? Q bar. So this is a symbol for SR flip flop. Okay. Good evening Chandar, how are you? तो एक बार ज़रा सब फटाफट आ जाइए, इस सेशन को अटेंड करते हैं। तो काफ़ी स्टूडेंट्स ऑलरेडी आ चुके हैं। अब देखते हैं ज़रा कि इसके बारे में हम और कितना जानते हैं और क्या क्या हम डिस्क्राइब कर सकते हैं। 1 मिनट रुकिएगा ज़रा बस। Okay then. Now, just basic idea about what SR flip-flop, that is a set reset flip-flop. This is the Q, this is the Q bar, this is S, and that is what R. First of all, truth table or characteristics table. Now this characteristics table will give you the idea about the inputs, what about the values of S and R, and what about the Q and what about the Q bar. Now when we are getting truth table, this is the truth table, or this is called characteristics table. Characteristics table. Now what about the value of S and R, and then what is the next state of this Q? What is the next state of this Q? For example, in this flip-flop, if we are giving the input 0 0, then after clock pulse there will be a no change, that is called QT. This is called no change. Now when I am giving the 0 1, this is what reset. Reset means Q will become 0. Reset means simply the Q will become 0 and the Q bar will become what? 1. And then when I am getting 1 0, then it is a set. This is 1. Okay, and 1 1, when we are giving 1 1, so according to the previous knowledge, 1 1 is not applicable. Everyone please tell me why it is not applicable. 1 1, why 1 1 is not applicable? One one is not applicable because simply when we are giving the 1 1, the circuit will enter into what? Metastable state. What is the metastable state? Simply we are not having the idea what about the next state. The Q may be 1 or Q may be what? 0. Okay, and that's why 1 1 is not applicable. So this is the 1 1 is not applicable. Now this is the truth table for SR flip-flop, and because of this practically it is not used. In place of SR we are using what? That is the transparent latch or what? D latch, but it is a basic diagram, right? You have to get the each and everything about SR flip-flop. So this is just a truth table or what? Characteristics table. Now what about the characteristics equation? Simply to get the characteristics equation, make a proper table. Right, and then what about the value of S and R, and then what about the next state? Now if S, R, and that is the Q, this Q is called previous state or just present state, or S or R is called present input. S and R is called present input, Q is called present state of the flip-flop, that is the output of flip-flop. There are 3 pins, S, R, and what? Q. And then what about the next state? Next state is represented by QT plus 1. Now if we are giving the 0 0 0, if there are 3 pins S, R, Q, total 8 combinations: 0 0 1, 0 1 0, 0 1 1, 1 0 0, 1 0 1, 1 1 0, and what? 1 1 1. These are the total 8 combination. Because what is the number of combination? 2 to the power n. There are 3 pins, total 8 combination, from 0 0 0 to what? 1 1 1, and that is the total 8 combinations. Okay, now when S and R 0 0, S and R 0 0 means no change condition according to the characteristics table. No change condition means when we are giving the clock pulse, just after the clock, what will be the output? That is called next output. So what will be the next output? When we are giving the 0 0, the next output will remain at 0 because the previously it is 0. So this is called present state, that is called what? Next state. Now we are getting the idea about the next state. Means if this is the input, this is the present state, then what about the next state? So next state is what? It will remain at 0, no change. Again it is a 0 0. Again after clock pulse this 1 will remain 1. This is called no change state. ये है first. Second one. Second. This is 0 1. What does the 0 1 means? What? Reset. Reset means simply, if it is 0, it will become 0. If it is 1, again it will reset, means what? Every time we are getting the 0. So what is the 0 here? 0 0. Because it is 0 1. 1 0 means set. Set means if it is 0, it will become 1. If it is 1, it will become 1. Now what about 1 1? Not applicable. Not applicable means don't care. Simply, it will not occur. It will not occur because it is not valid or invalid state, right? So this is the table. Now what about the q bar? Qt plus 1 bar. Just reciprocal, just inversion of this. So 0 will become 1, 1 0, and that is 1 1 0 0. That is don't care. Simply. So inverted or complemented output is also available. One flip-flop can store 1 bit of information. तो मेरे भैया दोस्तों एक बात बता दीजिए, the group of bit is called what? Group of bit is called, everyone, group of bit is called good evening Sri Lakshmi and Chandan and Onkar. So what is the group of bits is called? This is simply word. Simply what? Word. Bits. Now what about the nibble? One nibble means group of 4 bits. Group of 4 bits. And what about the 1 byte? Group of 8 bits. Okay, so these are the points. The group of bits, 1 nibble means group of 4 bits, 1 byte means what? Group of 8 bits. Now if it is 0 0, we are getting the 0 and 1. These are the characteristics. After characteristics table, these are the state. Now we can get the characteristics equation from this. Simply make a K-map. यहाँ आपको मिलेगा S bar S, this is the R bar, Q bar, R bar, Q, R, Q and R, Q bar. This is the value. According to K-map, that is the 0, 1, 3, 2, 4, 5, 7, 6. Now these are the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. What about the 6 and 7? This is the don't care. Now this is 1 for what? 1, 4 and 5, 1, 4 and 5. This is 1, right? 4 and 5. When we are making the pairing of these, this is the pair of 4, this is a quad and this is the 2. Now what is the answer? This is the Qt plus 1. It is given by S plus R bar Q. And that is the answer for this question. S plus R bar Q. That is called characteristics equation of SR flip-flop. Simply characteristics equation of what? This SR flip-flop. Okay. So this is a K-map. By solving this K-map, we are getting the equation with some condition. What is the condition here? S is equal to R. Should never equal to what? 1. This is called invalid condition. Okay. So always remember, we have to use this S is equal to R should not be equal to what? 1. Everything is valid in SR flip-flop. So first of all, this is called characteristics table. Second, it is called what? Just a explanation how to get the characteristics equation. That is also called the characteristics table or truth table. Now third thing, what about the state diagram? Simply, what about the state diagram of SR flip-flop? Right, various type of question in SR flip-flop. There will be another question, state diagram. Okay then, when we are talking about the state diagram, now in a one flip-flop there will be only a two state. What is the state? Means what? Low level and what? High level. If suppose we are using one flip-flop, so how many states? Only two states, 0 and what? 1. 0 and what? 1. The output of the flip-flop is 0 or output of flip-flop is 1. Right? Q and Q bar, no doubt we are getting the two outputs, Q and Q bar, but simply the Q bar is nothing but complement of what? Q. And that's why the flip-flop can store one bit of information. Okay, that is simply complement. If we are using the two flip-flop, for example, if we are using the two flip-flop, so how many states are possible? For example, this is the two flip-flop, right? That is the Q1 and this is the Q0. The output of this is what? Q1 and Q0. Then total 4 state is possible, 0 0, 0 1, 1 0 and what? 1 1. So these are called state. Okay, and there are 4 state. Now second thing, if there is only 2 state, then to represent the 2 states only 2 flip-flop is required. Okay, and there is only 2 states, then only 2 flip-flop is required. If there are 3 states, state means position. State means what? Position. Simply. So if we are having the 3 state or 3 position, then we will give the name to first one, let it is 0 0, second one, let it is 0 1, third one, let it is what? 1 0, or it is not used. Okay, no problem. But how many flip-flop is required? 2 flip-flop is required. With the help of flip-flop, we can give total what? 4 states, 0 0, 0 1, 1 0 and what? 1 1. So it is clear to you. Is there is any doubt about the state? Yes, everyone? 1 minute here. Okay. Saurabh, sir, what are the main topics of digital electronics for electrical? Saurabh, and for electrical branch and electronics branch, everything is common except what? Logic families. Right? In electronics, logic family is more important. For electrical, just basic idea of logic family is more than sufficient. Okay, Saurabh, so that is my advice. So if you want to get the good marks, then you have to get the command over what? Digital. 1 minute. Okay, now your comments are visible to me. Okay then. Yes. So up to this point everything is clear. This is just a basic idea about what? Digital or logic family. So state diagram, what is the meaning of this? When it is a only single flip-flop, it has 2 state. This is 0 and this is what? 1. It is 0 and it is what? 1. Now please try to understand. Now I want to maintain what? Same state. Means I want to remain at 0 state. Then what are the condition? Simply what are the condition? What should be the value of S and R? What should be the value of the inputs? So that when next clock occurs, it will remain at what? 0 state. Simply this is called no change condition. Simply it is called what? No change condition. So for no change condition, what should be the input? For no change condition, the input, the value of S and R should be what? 0 0. This is called no change condition. Okay. If the flip-flop it as 0, simply give the input 0 0 and apply the clock pulse. The output will remain at 0. There will be no change. Second, this is the case. 0 0. This is the value of S and R, 0 0. Now, at the same time, if we are using the reset, what is the condition for reset? If I am using the 0 1, 0 1, if we are giving the input 0 1, again the Q will remain at what? 0. So here when we are giving the S 0 0, the Q is called no change state. If we are giving the 0 1, it will remain at what? 0. So for this input again it will remain at what? 0 position. So if we want that on occurring of the next clock pulse this output will remain at 0, then first input is what? 0 0, or second input is what? 0 1, it will remain at 0. Now similarly when we want, if it is at 1 it should remain at 1. Okay, what is the condition? Again 1 to 1 no change condition. SR, the input given to the flip-flop should be 0 0. 0 0 means what? No change condition. This is the input S or R. Second input required. What is the second input is required? 1 0. 1 0 is for what? Set. 1 0 is for what? Set. If we are giving the input 1 0 and we are applying the clock pulse, then Q, it is no change, it will remain at 1. If we are giving the 1 0, it will switch to what? 1. If it is 1, it will remain at 1. Again there are two choice, 0 1. This is 1 0. Okay, it is clear. Now please tell me, from 0 to 1, if I want to change the state of the flip-flop from 0 to 1, that is the value of Q from 0 to 1, then what will be the value of S and R? Please give me the comments. Yes, Chandan, what should be the value of S and R? Now if it is at 0, now I want to change the state from 0 to what? 1. So for SR flip-flop, we want to set the flip-flop. So only 3 valid inputs are here. Only 3 inputs valid. 0 0, this is the no change condition, but we want to change. Second, 0 1 means it will reset, but at the same time we want to set. And third, it is what? 1 0. 1 0 means it will set the flip-flop, it will switch the flip-flop from 0 to 1. So at this point it is required 1 0. These are the values of what? S and R. So 1 and 0. Right? Now from 1 to 0, from 1 to 0, what is the required? थोड़ा सा फटाफट आंसर भी दीजिए भाई. ऐसा नहीं है कि आप one sided. It is not a one-way communication, it is a two-way communication. Everyone try to give me the answer for this question. Yes, please give me the answer for this particular question. What will be the input? Yes, everyone. क्या होना चाहिए भाई? जल्दी से बता दीजिए आप लोग आंसर. ओके, नाउ दिस इज व्हाट. देखो अभी तक के कोई कमेंट्स ही नहीं आए. इतना इजी चीज़ है, क्या होना चाहिए भाई? अभी आप लोग वॉच कर रहे हैं या नहीं कर रहे हैं यहाँ पर? तो देखिए ज़रा, सिंपली 0 to 0 0 0 1, 0 to 1 1 0. This is 0 0 1 0. Or now from 1 to 0, very simple. It is a reset. For reset, we are having only one input, that is what? 0 1. 0 1. And what is the name of this diagram? This is called what? State diagram for SR flip-flop. This is simply the state diagram for what? SR flip-flop. Okay. Now if we want to design a counter by using SR flip-flop, or if we want to design a register by using flip-flop, then excitation table is required. Now first of all, what is register and what is what? Counter. So when we want to design the register by SR flip-flop, means simply register, it is nothing but a group of flip-flop. Group of flip-flop means if it is of what? 4 flip-flop, then it can store what? 4 bit of information. Register simply used to store the information, used to store word. Word means what? Group of bits. If it is of 4 bit, it can store 4 bit of information. If it is of 8 bit, it can store what? 8 bit of information. If it is of 16 bit, then it can store what? 16 bit of what? Information. Means total 16 flip-flop inside that register. That is a simple logic, right? Now what is the counter? Counter means simply a register. Counter is nothing but a register which follow the pre-described or pre-specified sequence. Sequence means in a counter the sequence is fixed. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. This is called counting. तो काउंटर इज नथिंग बट a register which follow the pre-described or pre-specified sequence. Now, why we are studying all these things? SR flip-flop, then what D flip-flop, then JK flip-flop, then what T flip-flop. These are the 4 flip-flops after getting the command over what latch. Because we want to design counter, we want to design register. Okay, so that is these all are what basic building blocks of counter and what register. Okay, तो इसीलिए तो हम इस पर कमांड कर रहे हैं. नो डाउट ये थोड़ा सा बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट है, स्टेट डायग्राम है, और स्टेट डायग्राम से हम निकाल सकते हैं एक्साइटेशन टेबल. व्हाट इज द एक्साइटेशन टेबल? तो देखते हैं जरा. व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ द एक्साइटेशन टेबल ऑफ SR फ्लिप फ्लॉप? Excitation table. Now, means we are having the value of present value of key and we want the next value of this qt plus 1. Then what should be the value of S and R? What is the required value of S and R? Right? Now, there are 4 combination. If we are at 0, we want the next state should be what? 0. If we are at 0, we want next state should be what? 1. If we are at 0, then what we want? The next state should be 0 or it may be what? 1. Okay? तो आपको मैं बता सकता हूँ कि अगर घर में आपकी कोई लाइट है तो 2 ही बातें तो होंगी. अगर ऑलरेडी ये लाइट बंद है, स्विच ऑफ है, तो क्या होगा? आप उसे चाहेंगे कि वो स्विच ऑफ ही रहे, तो भाई नो चेंज. और आप उसे चाहेंगे क्या हो जाए? वो ऑन हो जाए. So this is called 0 to 1, that is called on. Similarly, if it is 1, what is the next state? It may be 0, on to off, or if it is 1, it remain on, that is 1. There are 4 conditions. There are 4 conditions: 0 to 0, 0 to 1, 1 to 0, or 1 to 1. Now, from 0 to 0, if we want it is 0, it should remain at 0. What should be the value of S and R? It may be 0, 0, it may be 0, 1. Means S should be equal to 0. S should be equal to 0. But what about the 1? It may be 1 or it may be 0. That is called don't care. 0 and what? Don't care. This is 0, don't care. That is the simple input of what? S and R. Second thing, what about the 0, 1? If you want to switch from 0 to 1, simply 0 to 1, then this is what? 0 to 1, only one choice. Right? 0 to 1, only one choice, that is what? 1 and 0. So this is simple 1, 0. 1, 0. From 1 to 0, 1, this is the state is 1. Now we want to switch it from 0, 1 to 0. Only 1, what is the value of S and R? 0, 1, 0, 1. Now, 1 to 1. 1 to 1 means what? This is the 0, 0. This is the 1, 0. 1 to 1. Means we want no change. If we want no change, then what should be the value of S and R? So देखिए, S will switch. It may be 0, it may be 1. It doesn't matter. But what should be the value of R? It should be always 0. If this is the case, then always remember S is what? Don't care. And what should be the value of R? It should be what? 0. तो यहाँ पर आ गया don't care 0. This is simple don't care 0. Now you can revise all these things and राइट विद कॉन्सेप्ट. राइट विद कॉन्सेप्ट. अब आप क्या है 2-4 बार आप इसके क्वेश्चंस बनाओगे एंड यू विल गेट द कमांड ओवर दिस स्टेट डायग्राम एक्साइटेशन टेबल ईच एंड एवरीथिंग. ओके, तो दिस इज अबाउट व्हाट SR फ्लिप फ्लॉप. दिस इज अबाउट व्हाट SR फ्लिप फ्लॉप सिंपली. नाउ व्हाई इट इज नेसेसरी? Why it is necessary to understand the concept of what SR flip flop? What are the application of what SR flip flop? Everyone please tell me. Now, when we are designing the 555 timer, we are using what? SR flip flop. Yes, we are using SR flip flop to design 555 timer. Inside the 555 timer, there is what? SR flip flop, and that's why to get the command over SR flip flop is necessary. Okay. अब आपकी जब कॉन्सेप्चुअल चीज आएंगी, कॉन्सेप्चुअल पॉइंट्स आएंगे, तो आपको समझ नहीं आएगा कि SR फ्लिप फ्लॉप को डील कैसे करना होता है. तो मैं आपको बताता हूं इंटरनल डायग्राम. जस्ट जस्ट नॉलेज के लिए कि आपको कहाँ इसकी रिक्वायरमेंट होने वाली है। तो समझिएगा ज़रा, व्हेन वी आर मेकिंग द 555 टाइमर, right, the main component is what? SR flip-flop. This is the SR flip-flop. This is the Q bar. We are using the Q bar, right, and that is the use. And just here, this is the comparator. This is the comparator. Again, this is the part of what? That device. And this is the plus, this is the minus, this point is connected here, right? Now this is the positive terminal, this point is connected here, right? And then, so what is the use of SR flip-flop? This is the SR flip-flop. Please tell me, what is the pin number of what this? How many pins are in 555 timer? Everyone, please tell me. How many pins are in 555 timer? And so on. Okay, this is 2 VCC by 3. Just I am giving you the tentative diagram for that. This is the diagram. This is the Q bar. Now my dear friend, to understand the concept of 555 timer, what are the basic building blocks? One is what? SR flip-flop. Second, get the command over what? Comparator. Third, get the command over what? NPN transistor. Fourth, get the command over what? PNP transistor. This is the PNP, this is the NPN transistor. Get the command over this register. What is the meaning of this register? Why we are using this RRR? What is the meaning of the potential divider? This is simply the potential divider. Now, to understand the concept of this circuit, that is what 555 timer, we have to get the command over different components. 555 timer means what? Transistor, PNP, NPN, that is SR flip-flop, comparator, potential divider. Why this register? What should be the value of that register? Why we are using the equal values of the resistance? What is this DC value, and so on. तो दैट इज द कॉन्सेप्ट. तो एक बाय वन जैसे जैसे चीज़ों में आप कमांड करते जाओगे और जब आप टॉप लेवल पे पहुंचोगे तो आपको समझ में आएगा कि इसका यूज़ क्या है. तो ये क्या है फिर? ये जस्ट हमने अभी देखा है कि व्हाट अबाउट द एसआर फ्लिप फ्लॉप, क्या क्या पॉइंट्स है, क्या एक्साइटेशन टेबल है और कैसे क्वेश्चंस बनाए जाते हैं. तो चलिए देखते हैं ज़रा. अब कुछ हम लोग क्वेश्चंस भी बना लेते हैं. अप टू दिस पॉइंट एवरीथिंग इज क्लियर? यस एवरीवन, प्लीज टेल मी. अप टू दिस पॉइंट एवरीथिंग इज फाइन? One minute, give me 1 minute and then give me the answer for this particular question. So that is the truth table of SR flip-flop. This is the excitation table. And now consider the given circuit. Now please tell me what is the right answer for this question. Yes everyone, please give me the answer for this particular question. यस 14 पिंस. ओके, आपने आंसर दिया. थोड़ा सा कमेंट्स आपके यहाँ पे दिखाई नहीं दे रहे थे. 11 पिंस. ओके, नो 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 नो. 555 टाइमर इज ऑफ व्हाट? 8 पिन IC. 555 टाइमर इज ऑफ व्हाट? 8 पिन IC. ऑलवेज रिमेंबर दिस इज द 8 पिन IC 555 टाइमर. No doubt, just I am giving you the application of what? SR flip-flop. Application of SR flip-flop. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 5 6 7 8, right? It is a 8 pin IC. Don't worry about that. It is not the part of that. Just I am giving the example of SR flip-flop. Okay, 1 is what? Ground. 2 is trigger. 3 is output, 4 is reset, 5 is control voltage, 6 is called threshold, and 7 is called discharge, and 8 is called supply. This is a 8-pin IC 555 timer. Okay. Now, so yes, Sri Lakshmi, it is clear to you, Kumar, Meghna and so on. तो ये हो गई आपकी बात. अब देखिए, अगर ये फ्लिप फ्लॉप है, it is a flip flop, we are using the clock pulse here. When this is the case, the rest around condition does not occur. The rest around condition does not occur. Why? When it is a level triggered, always remember when it is a level trigger. What about the edge trigger and what about the level trigger? Now my dear friends, simply try to understand. This is what when a particular device is what edge triggered. This is the edge triggered device. This is the edge, this is the edge, this is the edge triggered device. Or now this is called level. This is called what? Level triggered. If a particular device is level triggered, then there will be a chance of what? There will be a problem of rest around condition. If particular device is what? Edge triggered, then there will be no chance of rest around condition. Okay. Then yes. Now what about the first circuit? We are just talking about what? Master slave flip flop. In a master slave flip flop means what? Simply the latch is converted into what? Flip flop. Simply the latch is converted into flip flop. Now please tell me, what is the problem? What is the problem with what? SR flip flop, right? What is the problem with the SR flip flop? Simply the problem with the SR flip flop is when we are giving the input, which one is the invalid state? 1 is the invalid state. 1 is the invalid state. Now who will use this SR flip flop? Definitely user will use this SR flip flop. We are just a designer, right? Try to understand the concept. We are just a designer. Now we are giving the characteristics equation of this qt plus 1, that is s plus r bar q, and with some condition that s should be r is equal to not should be equal to what? 1, and that is the condition for what? User. कंडीशन फॉर जस्ट अ यूजर. ये तो वही बात हो गई, मोबाइल यूज करना, लेकिन मोबाइल को पानी में मत डालना. जब भी आप यूजर को कंडीशन दोगे, डेफिनेटली वो मोबाइल को कहाँ ले जाएगा? पानी के बीच में ले जाएगा. तो ये एक प्रॉब्लम है. व्हेन वी आर आस्किंग द यूजर दैट प्लीज अवॉइड दिस सिचुएशन, s इज इक्वल टू r इज इक्वल टू व्हाट? 1 1. अदरवाइज फ्लिप फ्लॉप विल गोज इनटू व्हाट? मेटास्टेबल स्टेट. मेटास्टेबल स्टेट, इनवैलिड स्टेट, unidentified state. But always user will ignore this message or user will ignore this warning, and definitely s is equal to r is equal to 1, and again it will enter into what? Metastable state. And that's why practically it is not preferable. Now in the place of SR flip flop, we are simply using what? D flip flop. We are simply using the D flip flop. This is the D flip flop, right? Now we are using here, this is simple. Now this is S, this is R. It is a simple one input, that is the D input. That is what? D input. Again the output is 2, Q and Q bar. Output is what? Q and Q bar, and that is the symbol for what? Edge triggered. If it is a edge triggered, there will be a no problem of what? Rest around condition. To understand the problem of rest around, we have to go into what? Master slave flip flop. That is the part of what? Main course. But here just I am giving you the idea. If it is particular device is a edge trigger, there will be a no problem of rest around condition. This is the D, that is S, and that is what? R. Here we are using one inverter. Now simply this is the D. What should be the value of S and R, and what is the value of Q, and what is the value of Q bar? Simply if we are giving the 0, S is 0, R is 1, reset. Reset means it is 0, it is 1. Now, if we are giving the D1, it is 1, it is 0, right? Reset this pin, this will become 1, set, and this will become what? 0. So this is used for reset the flip-flop. This is used for set the flip-flop. Only one input, and that's why only two conditions, 0 and what? 1. If the D is 0, the next state is 0. If the D is 1, the next state is what? 1. Simply output, the next state is exactly equal to what? D. Exactly equal to what? D. Now, there is no chance of S is equal to R. Right? And it is advantageous or disadvantageous? Everyone, please tell me. It is advantageous or disadvantageous? Yes. Now, my dear friend, if there is no chance of S is equal to R, then simply S is equal to R is equal to 1. Not possible, advantage. But at the same time, S is equal to R is equal to 0 is also not possible. That is called disadvantage. Means there is no change state. There is no input, no combination for no change state. Right? In D flip-flop, no change state is not possible, or no change input is not possible. Not present. Not. It is possible by other means, but it is not present. And that is the case with this flip-flop. So that is, the Q is exactly equal to what? D. The output, second state, is exactly equal to what? Input. And that's why sometimes it is called what? Transparent latch. Transparent. So in the next class, I will give you the idea about what D flip-flop, T flip-flop, and what JK flip-flop. Then we will get some idea about what registers and what counters. So it is for GATE 2022 batch, right? No doubt digital, for number of students, it is a very easy subject, but when we are entering into what some conceptual things, we are getting some different things and difficult things. So please, no doubt it is an easy subject, but you have to get the command over this subject. Okay, then this is an assignment for you. This was the question. In next class, we will solve number of questions. Again, I will give you the each and everything, every idea about this particular diagram. If it is a edge triggered, then it does not occur. If it is what? If it is, simply try to understand. If it is not an edge trigger device, then there will be a problem of what? Rest around condition. Is it clear? There are two conditions. I will explain each and everything about that. Then second one, we will solve this type of questions. Everyone try to solve this type of question. This is a signal, and what will be the output? A, B, C or D options. Then this is a third question. This is a very important third question. Assignment number 3. And before that, in a first lecture, there is 5 questions for assignment. Now 3 questions for assignment, 5 plus 3, 8. And again in next class, we will solve number of questions from Latch and number of questions from SR flip-flop. तो चलिए, तो थोड़ा इस इंट्रोडक्शन. ये है हमारी टीम. माई सेल्फ संजय राठी, अंकित सर, राकेश तलरेजा सर, एमएन रमेश सर, चंदन झा सर एंड चैतन्य रेड्डी सर फॉर विजन 2022 बैच. भाई आप सिस्टमैटिक अगर कोर्स करना चाहते हैं, दीज आर द रैंकर्स, राइट. ये हमारा रिजल्ट है फॉर गेट 2021 अंडर 10, दैट इज AIR. तो सभी को बहुत ही बहुत कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशंस. Gradeup Super means in one subscription unlimited access to all the courses. You can call at this number and download the Gradeup app for regular classes, and then 5 to 6 p.m. class on network, and then 8 to 9 p.m. class on what? Analog. And these all sessions are important for coming exams like HAL and what? Engineering services pre-exam. Then thank you for attending the session. सही प्रैप है तो लाइफ सेट है. तो ये बात याद रखिएगा. प्रिपरेशन आप सही टाइम पर स्टार्ट कर दीजिए. गेट 2022 अभी काफ़ी दूर लग रहा है, आपको लग रहा है बहुत साल बचा हुआ है, हम आराम से इसकी प्रिपरेशन कर सकते हैं. लेकिन 1 by 1 टॉपिक्स में कमांड करते जाइए और कॉन्सेप्ट बनाते जाइए. अगर जितना ज़्यादा आपका बेसिक स्ट्रांग होगा, उतने आराम से आपके क्वेश्चंस बनेंगे. एक मैसेज मेरी तरफ से याद रखिएगा, 10,000 क्वेश्चंस बनाकर भी आप एक पेज की थ्योरी को बहुत डिटेल में नहीं लिख सकते. राइट। 10,000 क्वेश्चंस अगर आपने सॉल्व कर लिया, उसके बावजूद भी वी आर नॉट एबल टू राइट अ 1 पेज थ्योरी। लेकिन अगर आपने 1 पेज थ्योरी को, कॉन्सेप्ट को बहुत अच्छे से समझ लिया तो 1 लाख क्वेश्चन आप इजीली सॉल्व कर लोगे। ये आपके ऊपर है कि आपको अभी कॉन्सेप्ट डेवलप करना है या डायरेक्टली आपको क्वेश्चंस बनाने हैं। तो ये गेट 2022 है, उनके पास अभी बहुत टाइम है, तो आप कॉन्सेप्ट पर ध्यान दीजिए, चीज़ों को मगअप मत कीजिए, रटने की कोशिश मत कीजिए, समझने की कोशिश करो। अगर आप सेकेंड ईयर में हैं, थर्ड ईयर में हैं, फाइनल ईयर में हैं, अभी आप गेट टारगेट कर रहे हैं 22 या 23, तो आप अपनी प्रिपरेशन इस स्टाइल में स्टार्ट कर दीजिए, क्योंकि ग्रेडअप क्या हमारा स्लोगन है, सही प्रेप है तो लाइफ सेट है। थैंक यू एंड गुड नाइट।